short story collection, The Death Jazz, which came out last year around May. So this is I'm a neophyte. I'm a tyro when it comes to publishing. I just want to do the best job possible with these upcoming books. And in the future, I would hope that the Schwidley Press could become a really viable alternate market for people who are kind of a little bit, disgruntled with the small press experience in general, and not to be sour or anything, but when you come across submission guidelines that ask for dark experimental, surreal stuff, and you've been studying, experimental, Dadaist, surrealist literature all your life, and then you write something in that mold, and they say, well, that's not what we're looking for, I'm like, well, okay, but have you read Tristan Tzara? Have you ever heard of Alfred Jarry? I mean, do you know what you're talking about when you say experimental and Dada? That's an open question to me. So this will be for people who are excellent craftsmen and artists and maybe don't have the recognition or aren't having the same success with markets because they haven't hit the sweet spot in publishing. So I want to be the sweet spot, the alternative to, I won't name the presses, but you know who you are.
Actually, they probably don't. But like you said, Alfred Jarry. I don't know. I think you're the first person I've ever known that actually knows that name. Pataphysics is something that I can't really begin to wrap my head around. Although I intend to try when I get a little bit more time and enlightenment behind me. Now, let's see, the Death Jazz.
I'm sorry, but Alfred Jarry is one of those names that everybody knows something about Alfred Jarry. They just don't know that they know it, because if they listen to the Beatles and they know the song Maxwell's Silver Hammer, there's a line in that about studying pataphysical. So that wasn't something that Paul McCartney just invented. Anyway, go on.
No, you're right. And I didn't know that. Until now. But I mean, even William S. Burroughs got some acknowledgement through the Beatles with their last studio album before they what was the name of it? I should know this.
There's Sgt. Pepper with
that's it, Sgt. Pepper. Yeah. Sgt. Pepper had all these cultural icons hidden in the artwork, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Burroughs and
Aleister Crowley and
you got it. Yep,
right.
And I expect you to know the answers to these obscurities because you were a music journalist.
Right.
How did you begin your association with Dynatalks Ministries? You have out through them Dr. Flesh, Black Tones of the Illuminati, an exploitation novel. I mean, how did you get in with that?
Okay, very specifically, my friend Joseph Bukia Jr., I hope I'm pronouncing that right, had a collection out through them. I think I said something, I posted something on his Facebook page about, like, wow, cool cover, I want one of those, and he said, well, talk to Jordan Krall. And I went to Don Detox Ministries, page, and it said that we're, only by invitation only. So I said, so I went back and said, it says it's by invitation only. He said, just talk to Jordan. So I did. And I submitted something, he was interested in seeing something I did. So I was like, okay, I have to places, and it had come back to me, and I didn't have a home for. And so I put them all together, and then I wrote a news story called The Doom Hippies. And then I sent it off to Jordan, expecting to wait for 10 months for my rejection. And the next day, I mean, literally within like 6 or 7 hours, he said, "I love it." And I'm like, "Well, wait, that was just a sample of, you should." No, I want to publish it. I'm like, okay, damn, So that was the start of my association with Down to Talks Ministries, and it's been great. I mean, Jordan Krall is one guy, or he's paying me to say this, but who really knows his stuff. And once you mentioned that he was, he's very emphatic about not being Bizarro, and that he's been through Bizarro, and he's past that. And he publishes weird fiction and surreal fiction, and I said, well, that's great, because I don't really know too much about Bizarro, but I know a lot about surrealism. So if you actually know like names like Le Suivant and whatever, that's great, because I want to write like that, or I do write like that. So it was just a natural progression, and then we started talking. Dr. Flesh was something that I already had around, and I was actually submitted to an unnamed or possibly unnameable press. Most of you know the work of David Lynch. You'll know this press, and hadn't heard back. Finally, I was like, "Hey, Jordan, I got this story. I don't think that the firm named press is going to talk to me. So, do you want to take a look?" And he said, "Well, okay, as long as it's not Bizarro." I said, well, okay, it's, whatever, just give it a look. And he said, "Yeah, I want this one too." I was like, "Really?" Because it was such a, black and white from waiting around and have people say, "Oh, we declined to publish at this time," and a form rejection letter after 10 months, and then Jordan saying the next day, "Oh yeah, he actually does it." Then a month later, there's a book. So yeah, he kind of blows my mind.
Good guy, yeah, and you definitely had some compelling ideas in Dr. Flesh. I don't know that we could begin to cover it, but I mean, you could try. Is it sold out, or is it still available for pre-order?
It's still available. I think it's available for order now. I think it's actually out. By the way, do we have time for me to read the story, or is it something that we should?
I believe we have about 11 minutes left for the interview.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get everything I can in to make sure that we do the best job representing you here, because I know there's a lot of ground to cover.
Right.
Daniel, did you have any questions?
No, it's okay. I actually want to make time for him to read that story, so.
Yeah. So we have about, I would say, 6 minutes, and then you said the reading was 5 minutes, so we'll wind it up with that.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's focus on the future projects. Matador Mirrors. Now,
yes.
Some of your contributions to Imperial Youth Review are going to be in Matador Mirrors.
Yeah.
So, what about any of the Pudding Spooks? Maybe tell people about the Pudding Spooks series in Imperial Youth Review that you specialize in.
The Pudding Spooks is a delicate subject because, it's been my most popular saga in series in Imperial Youth Review, and Gary Cook loves it, and I think it's great. There's been some questions about how do I put this delicately? The name Pudding Spooks has bad resonance for some people, which is not intentional. So the Pudding Spooks will not be in the Matador of Mirrors collection. I'll just say that. But some other stories that I selected in Tantra Mensko, and I went through and sort of selected stories that would be appropriate for her lucid fiction aesthetic. And there's even one story that is not bizarro or science fiction or anything. It's actually a normal story about this girl from East LA, you know. So hopefully this will be like represent more of my facets and beyond just extreme over the top goop. Although I do love my goop.
And when does Matador of Mirrors due out, by the way?
That's we're waiting on some blurbs actually. So give it about a month or so, I think, to be safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you stay so productive? Do you stick to a writing schedule or a word quota for the day or week? Or
Well, I read Stephen King's book on writing, and he said he does 2,000 words a day, and he goes in and he sits in his office, and he sort of sets office hours for his muse to show up, which I thought was really, really great. Instead of sort of waiting on an exalted state of inspiration in the middle of the night, you make office hours for your muse. And so thanks to Stephen King, I sort of followed this. I'm not always successful, but I do get up every day around 7 a.m. and write 2,000 words. And if I'm not, I'm kicking myself.
So that feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
When you taught, did you get to mentoring writers? Was it rewarding or thankless?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Okay, when you were a teacher for a little while, right?
Right. Yes.
Was that a thankless or rewarding job?
Both. I mean, it was teaching composition, mostly composition, freshman comp, which is the bread and butter English course for community college students. It's transferable to the state university system and like the UC system. So that is it's not really something that you can be very, very artistic with. It's bread and butter. It's do you know what a thesis is? Can you formulate an argument? But I've had there's always one or two students in every class every semester who are already beyond that and really don't belong in freshman comp, and so it's always delightful to see talent in the last places that you would expect it and sort of nurture and encourage that. So that's the best thing about teaching is then finding those students who are like the stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I always over-prepare for these because I want to do justice to every writer we interview. But before you read your piece, I believe you settled on Bad Shit House. Right?
Yeah.
Before you read that, is there anything that we missed that you would like to cover, including release dates or future projects? I know you're going to feature probably Tony Rosh, a favorite of ours, in the winter issue of Schwibly.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. The Schwibly, the Schwibly magazine has been in existence since 2008 as an online presence, and this year it will be a print edition, and I'm working with John Myers on